Okay, good evening, everyone. Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, yes, we are all welcome to this training, and I believe we are all set for it. I was ready for 7, but a um, little delayed. So sorry for that. Okay, now let's just go straight to the business of the day. Before I start, let me thank the organizer of this lecture, of this training program, the TRW Consult. This is a very laudable one, and I want to also commend you for your consistency in the past years. And I hope our interns are ready and they are all getting along with the teaching so far. What we are here to do this evening is to talk about the heart of features and desk writing, a comprehensive guide. I know as a journalist in training, you must have been introduced to some of the things that are basic that you need to know about journalism. But one of the great aspects of it, which you need to know about journalism, is this aspect of text and features writing is actually very important for every journalist to know about this aspect of journalism, because that is what journalism itself is all about. You need to be able to write very well, and beyond the news, which is a very fast sell, you need to be able to develop your content beyond just writing reportorial. You need to be able to develop features writing. So there are two things combined here this evening, talking about features writing and desk writing, the heart of both. So in going, maybe I should just do a little introduction of myself. My name is Seyi. I'm a journalist, but much more than that, I'm a media consultant, because that is what incorporates everything about journalism that we are talking about. I edit, I'm a digital marketer, and so on and so forth. And I've been practicing for quite some time. Okay, what is features writing? I'll combine both together now, both the features and the desk writing. I'll combine them together, but along the line, I will separate both. So when we're talking about features and desk writing, both encompass diverse skills essential for compelling and accurate journalism. Now, feature writing delves deep into storytelling, that is, bringing human experience to life, while desk writing ensures precision, clarity, and consistency in news copy. So, as I go along with this lecture, it will provide you a detailed exploration of these two concepts, that is, features writing and desk writing. Then, addition to authoritative quotes and practical insights from well-grounded experts. So let's start with features writing. Definition and purpose now. I believe everybody is hearing me. Hello? You can on your mic just to be sure that you are all hearing me.
Yes.
Okay, that's beautiful. Okay. So I'm saying that I'm defining features and purpose of this features writing for us now. Features writing extends beyond mere reporting. Features writing is offering an in-depth look at people, places, and events. The goal of features writing is to provide a nuanced and engaging narrative that not only inform, but also resonate emotionally. Okay, just a minute, please. I'm also trying to admit some people that are just coming in. Okay. Yes, I said that the goal of feature writing is to provide a nuanced, engaging narrative that not only inform but also resonates emotionally with readers. Then also there are certain characteristics of features writing that we need to explore. There are some of them I will mention here, like four of them that I'll mention here. Number one of such characteristics of features writing is in-depth research. In-depth research. You know, when you are writing features, it behooves you to go into extensive background work, including reading related articles, studying relevant documents, and understanding the broader context of what you are talking about. For instance, if you are writing about what is the latest or what are the latest issues in Nigeria today, you know, the latest issue, maybe you're talking about tax reform. What are the other issues? You're talking about maybe high cost or inflation, talking about inflation. Then what are the other issues in Nigeria today? Maybe you're talking about a lecturer slapping a student slapping the lecturer, and so on and so forth. When you want to write about this, you must have read the news, which broke out that a particular student of University of Unizik slapped our lecturer. You know, the news will break, and the news may not necessarily go into full detail. But you, as a features writer now, and most importantly in Nigeria, you know, most people just go with the headline. And now the bloggers have come to bastardize most of these, the ingenuity in this media work. You know, they don't care because they need to sell, they need to generate click, they need to make money, they need to sway people and so on and so forth. You know, they just need to lure people. There's something they call clickbait. You know, they just need a clickbait to lure people into reading their website. But you don't find out that at the end of the day, there is nothing there to pick. That is news for you. Anyway, that is news for you. Just tell somebody what has happened. But for features writing now, you need to now go in depth. You need to go in depth into what are the issues. It is a features writer that will let us into what actually happened. Now you begin to go around, conduct interviews. Who are the witnesses to the event? You know, what about the BC? What does it have to say? Will they are bearing disciplinary measure and so on and so forth. So features writing will go in depth into the issue they are talking about. You need to take your time. You don't rush to break news when it comes to features. You take your time to gather all the angles, and you have to balance it. It is not an opinion, and that's why they call it feature, because you are going to be authoritative in what you are submitting, and everybody involved will have to be contacted. You talk to the lecturer, you talk to the student, you talk to school authorities, you talk to people around. You now also do your own background research into what actually happened. You are like a lawyer and a judge in this particular issue, you know, because you just want people to know what actually happened beyond what they have read in the news. Let me give you this quote from Barbara Marquand. She is a freelance journalist. What I experienced that she put up in the quote about features writing. She described feature stories. She said feature stories are all about taking the readers on a journey, which means the writer needs to know their subject inside out. You can see you are taking your readers on a journey. Then what are the practical tips? Because I said I'm going to also be giving you the practical tips, you know, as we go along. the first practical tip is this: use a variety of sources when you're writing your story, such as academic journals, interview with experts, and first-hand observation to gather comprehensive information. It depends on the nature of the story you're writing about, But the basic thing is what I've told you, that you need to do your background research so that you will not submit your content and people will now begin to see a lot of fallacies and rest like that. So the first characteristic we are talking about is in-depth research. The second is narrative style. Narrative style. When you are writing your feature story must be interesting. Don't make it to be dull. On enterprising, on inspiring to your readers. Narrative style utilizes storytelling elements like plot, character development, and vivid description to craft a compelling narrative. Tom Huang, an editor at the Dallas Morning News, said this about features writing. He said that a good feature story transports the reader to another place and time, making them feel like they are part of the story. So you can see, you are writing, it's like you are giving them a film to watch as they are reading your story. You are carrying them along. They are seeing different episodes, different sections. They are make it a blockbuster, something that will last in their memory forever. That is what feature story is all about when you use your narrative style very well. Practical tip: start with a strong lead that hooks the reader, and use a narrative arc to build interest and maintain engagement. The third aspect of it is that make it an human interest story. That is the third characteristic. It has to be human interest. Center your story on people and their stories, exploring their motivations, struggles, and triumphs. A quote here now from John Franklin. He is a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist. He said that at the heart of every great feature story is a great character who drives the narrative and makes it relatable to the reader. You drive your story and make it relatable to the reader. You are just a driver. If you are a bad driver who is just entering into all sorts of potholes, gallops, and you are not just mindful of the comfort of your passengers, they will regret entering into a trip with you. So the practical tip here is that conduct in-depth interviews to capture personal anecdotes and direct quotes that had authenticity and emotional depth. You need to give direct quotes here, Don't just make it tutorial alone. Don't make it just either a third party or first party narration alone. Quote people, quote them verbatim, what they said, That makes it to be human. Give it a human face and let it be natural as much as possible. If we are reporting about maybe inflation now, and you have access to speak with CBN governor, you have to quote the CBN governor directly verbatim. Don't just report what he said alone and just be the narrator. Let him also have his voice in what you are saying. That is giving it a human face. Then the fourthly now, characteristic, we're talking about the characteristic thing of features and desk writing. Creative leads and conclusion. You need to have a very good lead. I said it earlier that these days, people break news and they just give us what they call clickbait. They just invite you to come and click. By the time you get into the story, you now find out that this is a trash. They have not even said anything worthwhile. That is the power of creative lead, creative headline, creative first paragraph, creative first 3 paragraphs. You need to catch the attention of a reader in your first paragraph, second, third paragraph. By the time they get there, they will find it very difficult for them not to conclude, read the story to the end. You must have bought some novels that you just feel that, okay, I will not really finish with this novel. Let me just read let me just scan through it, gloss over it. But you now find out that you have finished reading the entire book. Why? Because it is captivating. You know, the intro super and the conclusion super. That is what makes you a good features and desk writer. Then now let's quickly look at techniques for effective features writing. You know, of course, I've said it earlier, but interviewing is a very good skill here. When you want to be a good features writer, there is no way you will not interview. Just like you are a graduate student, or even if you are an undergraduate student of a school, and you are writing your long essay, there's no way you do that without conducting interviews if you are going to be a good researcher. You know, so interviewing skill is very potent when it comes to being a very good features writer. Through this, you develop rapport with the interviewees. You are able to ask open-ended questions. I'm not saying open-ended questions, because you are the one that want to know the direction you want to give to your story. Don't let the interview now take over, you know, and they now become the interviewer. So you are the one that is meant to interview somebody, but eventually they have taken over from you and they are the one interviewing you. You are not a good features writer. That's why you need to ask open-ended questions, because by the time you ask open-ended questions, they take over the discussion from you and you lose your control. Then also you need to be a good listener. Listen actively to gather rich, detailed information. For example, rather than asking, did you feel scared? Don't, instead of asking your question through that, you want to know whether that person is scared. Instead of asking, did you feel scared? Ask, can you describe what you are feeling in that moment? It is from that description you get your facts. You know, did you feel scared? Well, what if he says I'm not scared? Then what again are you going to gather as information? So ask story question that will give you, that will lead you into the kind of response that you need to get from people. Okay. Then let's compare descriptive writing and the structure now. When it comes to features writing, you use sensory details and vivid imagery to paint a picture in the reader's mind. For example, instead of saying the room was messy, describe clothes were stretched across the floor and half empty coffee cups clutter the desk. You know, what you are trying to say is the same thing. You are saying that the room is messy, but how messy is the room? What made the room messy? You know, you have to be able to describe it in your story. Don't let people just be at a loss when they are reading your story. Then also your structure. You need to organize the story with a clear beginning, middle, and end, balancing narrative flow with factual content. You have to be factual. Don't just guess, you know. Get your facts right. For example, start with an engaging scene. Provide background and context in the middle, and conclude with a resolution or call to action. I hope we are getting along with me.
That's how we do.
Okay, I'm still with you. We are going to the second aspect of it now, which is desk writing. Desk writing. What is definition and purpose? Desk writing or copy editing is the process of refining news stories to ensure they are clear, accurate, and polished for publication. This role is crucial for maintaining the credibility and readability of the news. Okay. So now, this also has certain characteristic features that we need to look into. When you're talking about desk writing, and let me also break it down for you. When you talk about desk writing, you're also talking about editing. Let me put it that way, copywriting. You're talking about copywriting. You are the one that gatekeeps the story to ensure that there are no errors, to ensure that they are just perfect. So let me go into the characteristics in detail. Number one, accuracy. You verify all facts, dates, names, details to prevent errors and maintain trust. Then, Bill Kovac, author of The Elements of Journalism, said, he said that accuracy is the foundation of good journalism. Without it, credibility is lost. So what is the practical tip that you are going to follow here? Use a checklist to systematically verify key information and cross-reference sources. These days, journalism is progressing. We are not even in the days of AI, but you have to be very careful when you talk about the usage of AI, because there is an ethical usage of AI. AI is not intelligent more than you. It is how you program AI that AI is going to deliver for you. So even if you are using AI to do your cross-checking, be very careful, because AI can also use its own initiative. And what you are trying to check is what you don't know. So if AI brings you something that looks like what is accurate and is actually not accurate, how will you know? So you need to be very careful. That's why you have to bring about your own human power, human reasoning, and human checks. You have the control over everything. Check with the library, check with authoritative sources before you make a conclusion. Then clarity also. Clarity, that is, simplify complex information and ensure that the language is clear and accessible. I want to quote another editor now of New York Times, Richard Stevenson. He said that clarity in writing reflects clarity in thinking. If you can't explain something simply, you don't understand it well. That is just it. You have to be very clear. Be simple in what you are. It's not until you use big grammar that even maybe you too may not even understand what you are saying. That you are commended for being a good copy editor or text editor, as the case may be. So read the copy aloud to catch awkward phrasing and ensure the text flow smoothly. Then consistency, number 3 now. And adhere to the publication style. Style guide. There are some media organizations, they have their style guide. It also helps you to ensure that there are no mistakes. So maintain uniform tone and style across all articles. Quote consistency in the style and tone, and also build trust with the reader. Ensure they know what to expect from your publication. Then practical tip: familiarize yourself with the style guide and use tools like style checkers to ensure compliance. What is a style guide? A style guide is a rule that certain media houses have adopted in how they make their presentation to the public. For instance, there are some that let me give you the simple ones. There are some that even introduce the president as Mr. So and so. After they have introduced him as President Tinubu in the first paragraph, at the first mention, what follows may just be either Tinubu or Mr. Tinubu. Some may not even use Mr. Some don't use engineer. They just call you by your first name and the rest like that. So they're just trying to be as simple as possible and be consistent in what they do. Practical tips: familiarize yourself with the style guide and use tools like style checkers to ensure compliance. Then, number 4, speed and efficiency. Balances through editing with the need to quick turnaround times, particularly in a fast-paced newsroom environment. What I'm saying here is that the best text editor are those who can deliver clean copy under tight deadlines without sacrificing quality. That's what I'm saying. And that is the position of Janet Elder, the former assistant managing editor of the New York Times. So speed and efficiency is very, very important. Don't just keep your copy for so long And let me also say this. I've defined features writer for you, but features writer for you. I'm not talking about copy editing now. A copy editor, let me also add to it. A copy editor is as I said, is the last guide, even to the overall editor of the paper. A copy editor edits features news, also edits the real news itself. The summary of what that person does is to ensure quality. Is the quality controller. Yes. Then what are the techniques for effective text writing? You have to pay attention to detail. Pay close attention to detail. Every element of the story matters. Grammar, punctuation, factual accuracy, and so on. Double check the spelling of name. Verify quotes and ensure these are correct. Then adhere to style guide. I've mentioned that earlier, so I don't want to overemphasize that. They also use technology. Leverage editing software and tools to streamline the editing process and catch errors. Example, utilize spell checkers, grammar checkers, plagiarism detection tools to enhance accuracy. Then in conclusion now, mastering both features and text writing equips journalists with the tools to produce captivating and accurate content. Feature writing entails readers with rich narrative and human interest, while text writing ensures the final product is polished and precise. Together, these skills uphold the standard of quality journalism and foster trust with the audience. By embracing these practices, journalists can elevate their storytelling and editing progress, ultimately enhance the impact and credibility of your work. Well, I hope you've gotten the message right. And in summary, what I'm saying since is this. For a features writer, you are somebody who led people into the heart of the matter after the reporter must have broken their story. You go in depth, and in doing this, you have to ensure that you get your facts right and you use all the elements needed, which is that your story, your lead has to be captivating, your conclusion also has to be inspiring. Then linking that with copywriting or a copywriter or a copy editor, that is a quality control manager. You ensure that every content that is entering into your paper or they fulfill and they meet up with the quality needed. No error, and so on and so forth. So I think we have to end here while I open this for question and answer. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. At this point, do we have questions? If you have your questions, please direct all questions to Mr. Seyi Geshinde. Are we saying so far so good? Is self-explanatory. We understand everything he has said so far. On desk writing. Hello, are we here?
Yes, we are.
Okay. So we're saying we understand. So far, it's self-explanatory. We don't have any questions for Mr. Seyi.
Please feel free to ask your question.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening.
Sir, can writing about energy crisis like power shortage in a particular area be considered as feature writing?
Sorry, I didn't get that question. Can you come again?
Writing about power crisis in a particular area, like a community, can it be considered as feature writing?
Yes, it depends on what you want to write about it. Just like I told you earlier, somebody must have broken the story about that particular development in an area. So a features writer is going to look at a particular aspect of what you want to write about. So it can be considered as feature writing. Yes.
Okay.
As he incorporated all the elements I spoke about into it. Okay, thank you. Any other one? I'm still with you. I'm still very much with you.
It looks like they don't probably there are no further questions aside from the other one, because I'm checking the chat box now, and someone already said they do not have any questions. No.
Okay, do I give you a question? Do I ask a question from you then?
Yeah, I think, please go ahead, sir.
Okay, let me ask a question from someone there. Okay, so in summary, just in a sentence, what did I define features writing to be? Anybody want to pick up that challenge?
Okay, sir. Based on my understanding, good evening, sir. I am Musa Saliu.
Yeah, good evening. Your name, please.
I am Musa Saliu.
Okay, yeah, Musa.
So what I come to understand based on my own understanding regarding features writing, it has to do with in-depth exploration of or information after the news has been broken. That's someone to go in depth and gather fact. Then
Yes, you are right. Conclude it. You're about to say something. Yeah, you actually got it right. Yes.
okay, and it has to do with maybe going to the place where the scene occurs, or the to get the real scenario and information. Then after gathering the information and everything, then before being shared with the public. So I think that's
Yes.
what I.
Yes, you are right. Let's clap for him, please. That's good. That's good. It shows that you got the message right. Okay. Then the second question: What did I decide to be desk or copywriting? Desk or copywriting?
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. Good evening.
Ifeyinwa, you said that desk writing has to do with editing, checking a work, like fact checking it, proofreading, checking it for accuracy, for clarity, another thing.
Okay, you also got it. You know, as I put it, you spoke about the element, but as I put it, it has to do with accuracy. You know, you verify facts, as you said, clarity, consistency in your style guide. Then you have to also have speed and be efficient in what you do. She got it right, so let's clap for her. Okay, I think we call it a day tonight. You've all contributed brilliantly, and
Someone has a
thank.
Someone is raising up
Somebody
his
has a
hand.
question. Okay, go ahead, please. Go ahead.
Musa, you're raising up your hand. Do you have a question for?
Yes, in good evening. I'm just trying to have more clarity. So
Okay.
in one statement, if I'm trying to differentiate features writing and text writing, can I say features writing has to do with going to the field and to extract the information or to obtain the information, while text writing don't have there is no need of going to. It's more of secondary data that someone will work on, just fact checked and proofread, then go ahead to publish. Am I on the right path, or the
Okay,
that's
yes,
not?
you are actually right, but for clarity's sake, you are right. But you know, a features writer is a reporter who, of course, have the leverage of going to the field to have to be the first eyewitness to whatever you're writing about. Yes, you have to go to the field as a feature writer or as a news writer. Now, for a copy editor, this is it. If you are the person that is going to be the quality controller to ensure that there is accuracy and there is no misrepresentation of fact in what your feature editor has submitted to you, I will not entirely say that you have to be restricted to the desk and not know what is happening on the field. Your knowing what is happening on the field or your field experience does not necessarily mean that you have to be stationed on the field as much as the feature writer does. But you see, on your desk there, you can enter anywhere if you are not very okay with what your reporter has submitted to you. Thank God for I mentioned about the usage of technology tools. From your desk there, you can call if the person has mentioned that I've spoken with the so and so, and you are not actually very convinced that this person has done a good job. You can call to do your verification. You can use technology tools to also make your check. Invariably, you have been to London without even leaving your desk. I hope you got what I'm saying. So at times there are virtual fields that you enter without necessarily be physically present. But the point is that be on top of your game and know what works for you as to how you get your fact verified. That is the most important thing. I hope I answer your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, I think we'll call it a day. We have actually had a good time together. So once again, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much, for always, showing up when we call you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much. And for to the rest of us, we have just a brief announcement. We have the LRA volunteers meeting coming up on Sunday. I'm sure that has been catered to us via the group. So ensure that you are at the LRA volunteers meeting on Sunday at 5 p.m. Thank you so much and good night.
Okay, thank you. Good night, everybody.